ladies and gentlemen, to JWF Monday Night Ignition. I'm your host, Silver Spoon, joined as always by the man who's going to be heading to Hangover City in a couple weeks. It's Captain Tibbs.
Sills, I'm already there, buddy.
That is right, and we are in for an absolutely phenomenal night of action. We are going to have the second match in Hollywood Hulcher and Danny Roanoke's Best of 7 series. We are going to hear from your son, Chuck Tibbs, after the amazing announcement last week that at our next pay-per-view, JWF Hangover, he will be defending his title, not just against the king of the Steel City, Griffin Clouts, not just against the king of Flavortown, Guy Fieri, and not just against the king of the JWF, Momoa Curry. He's defended it against all three of those men in a fatal four-way match. And Tibbs, I'll be honest, I'm sure your son has some words after that decision.
Well, you know what, Sills? I don't give a shit. Tibbs has got to prove themselves, and this is what Chuck's got to do to prove themselves.
All right, but before all of that, we have this match to start the show. Robert Hill, the king of the hill himself, making his official JWF debut, taking on the Funk Master himself, Funky Flossie. Now, Tibbs, of course, the JWF universe was first introduced to Robert back at Summerfest, where he defeated 9 other competitors from our developmental territory, JXT, to earn a contract, and he's debuting for us tonight. And Tibbs, I'll be honest, the man has been looking impressive lately. I've seen the training videos, and the boy's looking tight.
100% Sills. We have the makings of a monster on our hands, but before he can get there, he's going to have to go through one of our veterans, Funky Flossie.
That's right. Funky, also a veteran of JXT. You got to remember that. And Funky Flossie has been impressing this year, and that bell goes ringing. Oh, my God. Funky not rolling out the welcome wagon, just beating the living hell out of Robert Hill, just beating him into that corner. But, ooh, Robert shoves him back, but, ooh, kicks him in the gut, and, oh, hits him with the gaslighter. That beautiful DDT, center of the ring, goes for the pinfall. 1, 2, 3. And in what might be the fastest debut match we've ever seen here in JWF Ignition, Robert Hill has done it. He has defeated Funky Flossie just like that. And Tibbs, that was not that is an impressive endeavor to see.
So I was having a moment there and I zoned out for 2 seconds, and the match is over.
The match is over. Robert Hill, ever since he heard a possibility of coming to JWF, he has been working on his training, working on his cardio, and it looks like it paid off right there, because Funky Flossie started out with a flurry of offense, but it was just one kick to the gut and one gaslight, and that took him out.
So we might have more than a monster on our hands. We might just have a world-ending abomination, and I'm here for it.
That is right, Tibbs. And speaking of some things I know you were here for, why don't we talk about Summerfest, the match known as the Extraordinary Quaternary. 4 of JWF's best tag teams, including our tag team champions, the War Wizards, stepped into the ring. Every other team had to be eliminated. Both members had to be eliminated before you could call yourself champion. And unfortunately, the War Wizards did not walk out with the titles. Instead, it was the team known as FOMO-san and the Hammerman, the Rising Suns.
Quite a wonderful match, Sills. I was not sold on the name, but all of those teams, they brought it, and it was amazing to see that combination of styles in the ring. But in the end, the Rising Suns took it.
That's right, and we have not heard high or high water of the men known as the War Wizards since their shocking defeat at Summerfest, but they are here this week, and we have sent one of our top interviewers to hear what they have to say in response to their loss at Summerfest. Let's have a listen.
Hello everybody, Honey Pot McSweet Tea Fried Chicken here with former JWF Tag Team Champions, the War Wizards. Now boys, thank you for joining me. I know just a week out from your major loss at Summerfest, things have to be tough for you. How are you feeling tonight?
Well, we're actually feeling pretty good, Honey Pot. We feel awake, we feel ready to take on the world, and we want to thank FOMO-san and the Hammerman
for giving us this newfound energy. You see, we've held gold in the JWF longer than we've been without it. We literally, in our debut match, won those titles, and our names became synonymous with championship gold, and we're proud to have made tag team wrestling mean something here in the JWF. And look, Rising Suns, at Summerfest, you were the better men. I just want to let you know that you were the better men. You ran through 3 of the best teams in the division and dominated. That's something to be proud of. But when it's 1-on-1, when the War Wizards step back into this ring and face off against you, mano y wizardo, we'll show the JWF universe exactly who the best team in this division is.
Whoa, big man. You want to talk about the best damn tag team in the division, motherfucker? Why don't we talk about my boys? Why don't we talk about the wild-eyed Southern boys, baby? Because I hate to tell you this, War Weasels, but in case you forgot, you 2 little pukes never pinned or submitted my boys to win those belts. Oh, look at me, with my flowery little British accent. I climbed a big scary ladder and climbed a belt. Big whoop. My boys defeated the 2019 Tag Team of the Year and have shown dominance ever since. And I'll be honest, if it wasn't for the interference of that damn Famoson, these 2 men behind me would have been the ones to take those titles away from you at Summerfest.
Well then! Why don't you 2 prove it? Why don't they step into the ring with us, the War Wizards, and prove that the wild-eyed Southern boys are worthy of taking what is rightfully ours? Next week, it's gonna be a match that is no DQ. War Wizards versus the wild-eyed Southern boys. Only way you can win is by pinfall or submission. And the winner becomes #1 contender to the JWF Tag Team Championships!
Tibbs, can he do that? Can he just make a match? Can anybody backstage just be like, hey, let's fight, and it just become a thing?
Of course not, Sills. That is completely crazy. I have the list of matches next week right here, and my God, they did it.
They wizarded their way onto the card?
It just changed in front of my eyes, Sills. It just changed in front of my eyes.
All right. Well, speaking of a man who made some matches, why don't we talk about this next match? Danny Roanoke, Hollywood Hulcher, the second in their best of 7 series that we, of course, know started back at Summerfest. Danny Roanoke coming out last week, telling Hollywood Hulcher, hey, meet me in that ring 7 times. I can beat you 6 out of 7 times. And let me tell you something. I think Hollywood might have bit off more than he could chew tonight.
I don't know, Sills. Hulcher was they had a great match at Summerfest. I'm not going to take that away from them, Sills. But it was a miracle, a sheer stroke of luck that Hulcher was able to spear Danny Roanoke into that electrical box, fry his powers, and allow him to get the win. I don't know what's going to happen when it's just 1-on-1 Roanoke versus Hulcher.
That's right. I mean, we got to remember Danny Roanoke, a former teacher down in our developmental territory, JXT. Danny Roanoke, one of the longest reigning names we've had in this business. And Hollywood Hulcher still relatively fresh, just coming back a couple of months back. And oh, look at this, Tibbs. Before the match even begins, looks like Roanoke trying to kind of send out an olive branch, offering Hollywood Hulcher a handshake. And it looks like the man from Hollywood accepting, but oh, look at that. Danny immediately just takes him down into a headlock takeover. And Tibbs, that's what I was talking about. That's where Danny's veteran knowledge is going to come into play. Hollywood, he's just now come back. He's got the ring rust. He's not as experienced. And I think Danny's knowledge from so many years of training students and learning, that's definitely going to aid him against Hulcher.
You also got to realize, Sills, that Danny Roanoke is a huge shitbagger that is a person that would put you in a headlock from a handshake. Trust me, he's tried to do it to me before, and it is not a pleasant experience.
That's right. You see Hulcher just struggling, trying to grab the ropes out of that headlock. But, oh, wait a minute. Instead, gets those long legs up and, just grabs Danny in a beautiful head scissor, prying him away from his head. But, Danny kipping out of it before landing a massive kick to the ribs of Hulcher. Oh, my God, you can hear that one out here, Tibbs.
Ooh, crack it.
Now Hulcher climbing up against the ropes, trying to find his way back to his feet. And, Danny was trying for a clothesline, but instead gets sent flying to the outside by Hollywood Hulcher, who knows he's got to capitalize, rushes towards the ropes before coming back and, hitting a big baseball slide straight to the face. And let me tell you something, Hulcher's going to have to capitalize at this moment. What do you think?
Absolutely, Sills. You got your enemy knocked off his guard. You've really got to go in for the win here if you can.
That's right. You see Hulcher just beating Danny around the arena, trying to hit some big moves on the outside. But look at this. Our referee, Shibata, just begging Hulcher to bring things back into the ring. And I got to say, I think Hulcher's not thinking at this moment. He's not realizing this match doesn't have any special stipulations. He just got done doing a damn Falls Count Anywhere match. He thinks everything is legal, and I think that Hulcher might be a little off guard.
Well, so that just means that his tunnel vision is just too narrow right now. And that is not the kind of thing that will win you a best-of-7 series, let me tell you. You've got a lot more matches after this one that you're going to have to be thinking about.
That's right. You see Hulcher looking for something big here. Just, sending Danny straight into the ring post before throwing him back into the ring. And, Tibbs, Hollywood's looking poised now. He's looking ready, bouncing off the ropes, and goes for the Skyliner, but no! Danny catches him in midair. Danny catches him in a powerbomb position, but Hulcher reverses into a beautiful code red powerbomb. Holds on for the pin. 1, 2. Danny reverses into a pin of his own. 1, 2. Hulcher kicks out, and that was a beautiful combination from these two competitors, Tibbs.
That's right, Sills. It shows how much they want it. Hulcher wants to pull ahead. 2 out of 3. 3 wins is all you need in the best-of-7 series. Hulcher gets 2 wins tonight. He's just got to get 1 more. But if Roanoke wins 1-1, it's not going to be good.
Tibbs, you need 4.
What'd I say?
You said 3. That's not how that works.
1, 2, 3, 4. I declare a 7 war.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but wait a minute. Look at Hulcher back to his feet, hitting him with a big heel kick. I'm happy they paused the match while Tibbs did some math. And then a second heel kick. Hulcher aiming to get the lead in the best-of-7 series. Got Danny backed up into the corner and, just nails him with that massive drop kick before dragging Danny to the center of the ring. And you can see Hulcher starting to feel himself heading up to the top rope, getting ready to deliver a massive splash, but no! Danny kipped up to his feet, catches Hulcher out of midair before tossing him up onto those shoulders, and hits the black mirror. That massive knee going straight into the skull. Danny falling into the pin. 1, 2, 3, and just like that, Tibbs, Danny Roanoke gets things all tied up in this best-of-7 series. And look, Tibbs, seeing the way Hollywood was acting in that match, seeing the way this youngin' thinks he can handle himself in the ring, I'm hoping that after this he realizes he can't just brute force his way out of everything. We know Roanoke to be clever, conniving, and if Hulcher don't learn to outsmart him, Danny can just run away with it. Get those 3 matches, 4 matches, whatever.
That's the dream, Silv, at least from Roanoke's perspective. Hulcher, any momentum that he had going out of Summerfest into this series has already been taken away from him. Now it's 1-1. Things are square, things are even, and really, whoever gets that next win, Sills, they're going to be the ones that has the advantage.
That's right. And speaking of a man with no advantages heading into a match, let's talk about your son, Chuck Tibbs. That fatal 4-way match against Guy Fieri, Griffin Clouds, Momoa Curry. Chuck is surrounded on all sides. He doesn't even have the damn champion's advantage at this point. The man is being forced to fight or flee. And let me tell you something. If I know the Tibbs name, he ain't going to be fleeing from this one.
Oh, Lord, I hope not, Sills. really hoping not on that one. Yeah.
That is right, but as I stated earlier, Chuck Tibbs has returned to the JWF, and he seems a little bit more focused, seems a little bit more calm. Of course, after you announced that Fatal 4-Way last week, he seemed a little bit out of it, but he's returned, and we have sent one of our top interviewers to hear his response to this Fatal 4-Way action. Let's have a listen.
Hello, everybody. Don McDonald, backstage with the man who is set to defend his JWF World Heavyweight Championship against not one, not two, but three competitors at JWF Hangover. The man known as Chuck Tibbs. Now, look, Chuck, last week it seemed you were perturbed a little bit at this match announcement, at this Fatal 4-Way stipulation. Now that a week has passed, I gotta know, how do you feel?
Hey, McDonald. All right, now look. Despite how unfair my father's announcement was, despite how unfair it is to force me to defend this title against three other men, I gotta say, I like it. I like this opportunity to get in the ring and mix things up with three of the best that we got in the JWF today. And really, I like this opportunity to prove myself. You see, I faced all three of these men in the past. I fought Guy Fieri, I trampled Griffin Clouds, and my history with Momoa Curry is somewhat complicated. But the truth of the matter is that at JWF Hangover, those three men are gonna see a different kind of Chuck Tibbs than they have ever seen before. These past few months, I've been doing whatever I can to try and prove myself as champion. Everybody else, of course, said, oh, Chuck Tibbs is too tame. He's not got the grit and the aggression to prove himself as a champion. And then, of course, I proved them wrong. Then they say, oh, Chuck Tibbs, oh, he's far too aggressive as a champion. He needs to prove himself as a wrestler. Well, which one is it? Does the JWF want me to be aggressive and violent, or do they want me to be a catch-all wrestler? You see, McDonald, listening to everybody else, has been pulling me in all different kinds of directions, and honestly, it's thanks to them that I lost at Summerfest. So, at JWF Hangover, I'm done listening to the JWF universe. I'm done listening to the boys in the back. Hell, I'm done listening to my dad. I'm just throwing that out there, alright? I earned this title by my own hand and by my own hard work, and I done taking advice from people who haven't reached the same peaks of the mountains that I have. At Hangover, McDonald, there's one person I'm listening to, and it's the JWF World Heavyweight Champion, Chuck Tibbs. Wink.
Well, Tibbs, some strong words there coming from your boy, and I gotta know, how do you react to this? I mean, it almost feels like he personally called you out. I mean, we on commentary in the past have kind of expressed those things, said Chuck needed to be more aggressive, then needed to prove himself as a wrestler. He feels like he's drug in all types of ways. How do you respond?
You know what? I'm gonna let him do his own thing, Sills. Baby bird's gotta leave the nest sometime. I'm not gonna cry about it or anything. I'm not gonna be upset. I'm not gonna be mad. He's trying to be independent, Sills. And you know what? It might have been a little unfair, but damn it, you gotta face adversity in life. And I'm just...
Are you okay there, Tibbs?
I'm fine. I'm fine, Sills.
Well, while Tibbs deals with that emotion, why don't we talk about another champion? A champion who has been undefeated this year. The man known as the Lord of the Smart Side, the technical spectacle himself, the Dylan. I mean, Tibbs, he has been impressing all year. He's had more matches than anybody in this company. It's been thanks to that open challenge series he conducted all the way up to Summerfest. Anybody in the JWF who wanted an opportunity came out, but Dylan said that he wants to be more selective now. He wants to choose his opponents, but there's a couple of men who have been definitely trying to get chosen, and it's the men known as Blake Tanner and his associate, his student you could call him, Ghazi.
Yeah, Sills, I'm still not really sure what's happening there. They've kind of teamed up Blake Tanner looks like he's the one that's brought Ghazi out of JXT into the JWF, and honestly, Sills, at this point, it looks like he's trying to get one over on Dylan because he wasn't able to in the past.
That is right, Tibbs. But right now, the Lord of the Smart Side, the JWF Captain's Champion, is in our ring right now, and you know he's going to be responding to that vicious attack from Ghazi last week. So why don't we hear what he's got to say?
So apparently Blake Tanner's got himself a new lackey. Apparently that's the only way he feels he can get a leg up anymore. Because he's still licking his wounds and pouting from the ass kicking I gave him a couple of months ago, but alright, sure, that's how you want to play this. That's fine. So you know what? Turns out I lied. The open challenge is back, except now it's a call-out challenge, and I'm calling out that motherfucker Ghazi. So I want you to bring Hot Topic reject ass out here, set foot in this ring so I can end your career before it ever really starts.
Well, Tibbs, looks like the Dylan is absolutely furious right now, and it looks like he's brought back. He says it's an open challenge, but Tibbs, he's just challenging one man, and it is Ghazi, and he wants a fight tonight.
That's right, Sills. The open challenge is on the other foot, as they say.
That's right, and well, Tibbs, that's not the music of Ghazi. That's the music of Blake Tanner, the man known as the Bee, and he is coming down to the ring right now, and it looks like he is not taking kindly to these words that Dylan are using against him and against Ghazi. Why don't we hear what Blake's got to say?
Hey, Dylan. Oh, I'm so sorry. I hate to interrupt you like this. I know you were talking a really big game right now called my young prodigy a Hot Topic reject, and you challenged him to a fight and all of that, ending his career and everything. But before you do that, I just want to remind you what you're getting yourself into. You're challenging the Night Terror, the son of Mara, the thing that nightmares are made of, Ghazi, to a match. You realize what you're doing, right? You're standing in the ring begging for a fight from a man that literally broke the arm of one of our closest friends in a match at Summerfest. You're asking to battle against a man that came out last week and wrapped a steel chain around your neck and hung you from it, Dylan. You're standing there asking for your own televised death sentence to be carried out by that man right there, to happen in front of millions of eyes. Which is why I came out to tell you just how very, very lucky you are. You're lucky that my associate is not a man who is willing to fight on your terms. He's not a man that'll just show up at your beck and call to fight for any match that you decide to have in the middle of the show. No, he needs to prepare. He needs to get ready. But, hey, you want to fight? I'm more than happy to give it to you.
Well, Tibbs, it looks like the open challenge is back on the other foot now as Blake Tanner heading towards that ring, and it looks like Dylan is obliging him. Dylan's getting ready. We're about to have a title match right now.
Stills, that might be a smart move for Dylan if he wants to fight Blake Tanner, who he's beaten multiple times before. What's happening?
I don't know, but you can see Dylan getting ready, got the title laid down, but oh my God, Ghazi coming from out of the crowd, just clocking Dylan from behind with that steel chain, busting him open. Oh my God, you can see the Dylan's blood raining down onto the mat. You can see that smug smile growing onto the face of that bastard Blake Tanner, who's just laughing as he's watching Ghazi put this beating down on the Lord of the Smart Side.
My God, Sills, they planned this all out from the start.
That's right. You see Blake just grabbing a steel chair out from underneath the ring, dragging it in before, oh my God, just laying in shots to the back of the technical spectacle before. Oh no, what is Blake Tanner thinking now? He's got that steel chair placed underneath the skull of the Dylan, and Oh my God, he's ordering Ghazi to actually wrap that chain around Dylan's neck, holding it up above that steel chair before, oh my God, Blake slams that skull down with the Blake out, that vicious stomp straight to the skull, taking down Dylan. We gotta get somebody out here. This is horrifying.
Sills, we have to do something. Cut the camera away from him now, Sills.
Okay, here's some stock footage of Tibbs' vacation last year. Nothing.
Oh my God, Sills, there's so much blood. Oh my God, they're still beating him.
No, look at this. Tibbs went to Nicaragua. He's helping people plant trees. This is so nice.
Oh my God, Ghazi's sticking his fingers into the Dylan's eye sockets. This is horrifying.
Oh, look, Tibbs is at Universal Studios Florida having a fantastic time. Tibbs, we gotta end this. We gotta end this now.
Yeah, go do the outro, Sills. Do the outro. We gotta get people out here.
Well, Tibbs, this was an absolutely horrifying sight, but next week on JWF, make sure to come back as the War Wizards take on the Wild-Eyed Southern Boys, ladies and gentlemen, for the #1 contendership to the Rising Suns Tag Team titles. In addition, come back because Momoa Curry says he has an announcement to make regarding that fatal four-way at the end of JWF Hangover. And in addition, Danny Roanoke is coming here and he is going to be interviewed about this best of 7 series. And Tibbs, you know Danny Roanoke's going to want to talk.
Absolutely, Sills. He loves to talk, as we have learned. Where are those medics?
All right, Tibbs. Well, until next time, remember to support us on Patreon. Patreon.com/loadofbs is the website where you can support the JWF, where you can support Fight Boys. You can support all of us and get access to exclusive content like older episodes of JWF War. It is an absolutely fantastic time over at patreon.com/loadofbs.
Go buy our stuff. Be a patron. Help pay for Dylan's medical expenses.
That's right. Merch.loadofpurebs.com is the website where you can go and get shirts for all your favorite superstars. From Chuck Tibbs to the VWO. They've all got stuff available for you at merch.loadofpurebs.com. But until next time, he's been Captain Tibbs, I've been Silver Spoon, and this has been JWF Monday Night Ignition. And we will see you next time.